That they kind of come in and go, make me laugh. You know, there's a little, sometimes there's a little bit of that.
Like, I dare you.
Yeah. You're constantly arriving in the nicest way. I'm 40. In my head, I'm not.
Yeah.
In your body, you are. Austin Powers. It's a spoof of James Bond. And they went, what is
What's
that?
James Bond?
I was like,
I'm
going
done.
home.
Yeah, I'm done.
Getting the audience wasn't the toughest thing. It was explaining stand-up comedy to venue. I have done shows behind a pillar. I put those brochures in car parks in the windscreens.
So you were the massage car ninja.
I was the original, but for
comedy.
You laugh at both, right? But I have done that. If I'm not into the work, then it doesn't matter whether it's a live show or a social media video. It won't be great. I'm non-confrontational. I came, I saw, I concurred. Everything's fine. I'm not that big. What will you cancel?
Cancel me. Salman, you are funny. Salman, you made me laugh.
Spend time with your parents. Overrated comic, Jerry Seinfeld. I learned something about myself.
With ARK, just real people, real things.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of All Real Konvos with me, your host, Asad Raza Khan. This is the show where we have real people and we have real and honest conversations with them. No hang-ups, no drawbacks, no judgments, and all tolerance. Today I have with me someone who's a dear friend, who is a comedian, an artist, a social media personality, and who I've had the pleasure of working with both in terms of live entertainment as well as on television. Comedy, they say, is the food for the soul, and laughter is the best medicine, and he has provided it in abundance to people of this region and all over the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Salman Qureshi.
Hi. Halfway through, I was like, is there someone else coming?
Yeah, even I felt the same way. I was like, I think I've given him a little too much respect.
Yeah. I'm not used to you doing that. So I was like, okay, this is Studio Asad then.
This is Studio Asad. This is an Asad which is being very kind, very giving.
15 years. I haven't had this from you, Asad. This is great. We should do this more often.
We should do this more often too.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I felt good today. I felt good. But thank you for having me.
No, it's a pleasure. I think that both of us were free and we were like, let's just get together.
I took time out of my schedule.
Out of your schedule.
The schedule was empty, but I still took time out of it to add it to it. And I'm glad I'm here, man. Like, we haven't caught up in a while. It's
been a minute. And to think that we've done so much work together, I'd like to assume that we are good friends. But
it's a good assumption. I would assume as well, but you know what they say.
You never know.
You never know with assumptions. Deep down, what you
and that's why perhaps we haven't met for I think the last 6 to 8 months. And it's so funny. And I want to tell you guys this, right? Because I think a lot of us go through this. We call each other and we miss each other's calls. We text each other. We're like, I'll get back to you. We make plans which never go through.
Yes.
Why the hell is this happening? Why has life become so busy that we can't make time to meet friends?
I think it's a little bit of a Dubai fast-paced life kind of thing as well. And then let's be honest, anything beyond your neighborhood, you're like, we'll see.
It's too much of an I need to get a visa to go to his place, so it's a little far away.
Yeah. It is that, right? And I think, I don't know, I feel like particularly life is so fast-paced in this city that I blink and I'm like, oh, it's 3 months.
I blinked and I turned 40. I was like, what the hell?
You turned 40. Oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. Welcome. Welcome to the club. I'm halfway through.
So every single day I wake up and I'm like, no, I'm 27 years old. And then my back reminds me, my knees remind me that no, you're 40. Brother, you're 40.
Right? No, but you don't feel it. It's hard to go, I'm 40. In my head, I'm not.
Yeah.
In your body, you are. You move too quickly to get the remote.
Until also you don't hang out with 27-year-olds. Because in your mind, you're 27, then you hang out with 27-year-olds and you're like, no, I'm 40.
Forget, 27. Even 30-year-olds, I feel like there's such a big difference. I literally had a conversation with someone where they didn't know Austin Powers as a comedy film. And I was like, here's the fun. So I went, it's a spoof of James Bond. And they went, what is
What's
that?
James Bond?
I was like,
I'm
going
done.
home.
Yeah, I'm done. Thank you very much.
Yes.
I'm out.
Yeah, it's crazy that stuff happens now.
It is. And again, we've known each other for so long. I think
Was
first.
it 2006?
No, that's a little too long.
Too long?
It was 2013.
13,
we met
okay,
for the
okay,
first
okay.
time.
I've gone-
2012 was when I came back to Dubai after my stint in Europe. But
Yeah.
But the first time, and I want to tell people this, the first time I met Salman was the funniest story. So I just moved back to Dubai, and me being me, I was like, okay, where's the arts going on? Where's theatre? Where's acting? Where's improv? And this one person told me that there's this really fun improvisation workshop which is happening in one of the venues over here. So you should just go check it out. There's no preparation needed for it, and you'll at least meet like-minded people.
Yeah.
So I decided to show up, and while I'm there, this is
right at the start, right?
This is right at the start. This one guy comes up to me and says, "Hi, are you Salman?" And I look at him and I'm like, "No." And I'm like, "Why did you take that assumption?" He's like, "No, Salman is the guy who's going to train us. He's the facilitator." Yeah. And I was told he's a short Pakistani dude. So I'm like, "So you assumed that this was a short Pakistani?" And then I see you come in and I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, you're like, he's even shorter.
I'm like, yeah, the shorter Pakistani dude.
I forgot you told me the story, and it was bizarre that the chances are that we did. And then I think there was an award function or something where we were together.
And you took a jab at this.
Yeah, I took a jab because I was like, I was the only one, and now Asad
has come in. And you were like, I was the short Pakistani funny dude. Thank you, Asad, for taking that exclusivity away as well.
Yeah. I was, that was a joke from the heart.
The heart, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people thought that we were related. And
of course.
I don't know why and how, but they thought that we were related.
That's nice. Okay. So that we're related, we might be brothers or something like that, right? I'm not joking. 2 nights ago, I was at a show. There's a Pakistani girl, young girl, and one of the audience members thought she was my daughter. I'm not making that up.
Okay. Tell me, how old was this Pakistani girl?
She must have been, she wasn't like a kid. She was 26, 27.
They thought a 26-year-old was your daughter.
My daughter. And
it is time to clean shave or put some color somewhere.
Yes,
it's like,
it is.
It's getting there.
I forgot to before. Like even today I forgot to do it. And I have like a bizarre feeling about this now. Like that I'm not that old.
I would have sleepless nights if that ever happened to me.
I did, yeah.
I haven't slept since then.
No, it isn't nice. But that's how long we've been in this business.
It has, right?
Work,
and since that day when we met, we've obviously been part of the community, the fraternity. You've hosted award shows I've attended and won in, so shameless plug that I won those awards. But the fact is we've
multiple times.
We've done improv together. We've done television together. We actually even were on stage. We didn't share the same production, but we were in a short play festival where your play went on just before mine. And sadly, those were the only 2 comedies in the night.
Yeah.
And then we've done a lot of social content together. This entire journey, right, that Salman Qureshi has had, and people over here have just seen maybe...
Let's ask him about it.
Yeah, let's ask him about it, right? Because people have seen the last maybe 2 years, 3 years, maybe till COVID, people remember what content you've done. But what was your journey here in terms of content? Like, what was the first show that you did in Dubai?
Oh, like actual live?
Actual life, huh?
My first stand-up wasn't in Dubai. I was visiting the US and I saw some open mic thing and I jumped up. I don't know what was going on in my head, but I loved comedy. But something, I think they were so bad, I was like, I'll be better. I can't be worse than this. I was. And I've never told this. I was like, this was horrible. And I came back to Dubai. I was on a visit there and I came back and I'm like, don't share this with anyone. But 2009-10 is when stand-up was starting out here. 2013 when you came, it was still a very budding.
It was still very small.
Yeah, it was very beginning.
People don't realize this.
Yeah.
But even getting 50 people together as an audience at that point in time was a challenge.
Yeah.
Right now you see the headliners coming in and selling out 25,000.
I mean, even local nights can get 100, 200 people
but
easily
at that point,
at times.
And you started that journey, right? So that's what I want.
Getting the audience wasn't the toughest thing. It was explaining stand-up comedy to venues. So I'm not joking. We'd show up to places and they wouldn't have a working mic. And I'm like, bro,
This is not how we
it's
do
the
this.
easiest setup in the world for any art form.
Yeah, it is.
A working mic.
Yeah.
I have done shows behind a pillar. I'm again not exaggerating. Like the audience was split here and here, and there's a pillar in front of me, and I'm like, guys, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, why is it so hard? So we started there. Like people didn't understand what is stand-up comedy. And I'm not exaggerating. So we started like that, and I was lucky. There were a few people like Nitin Marani arranging shows. He was one of the earlier pioneers. That's how I started performing locally in Dubai. And the first few shows were great, though. At the same time, audiences were very receptive. Like I said, like there weren't many people doing it. You only came 2013, so getting attention was also very easy.
Easy.
Yeah.
It was a novelty.
It was a novelty. You were one of the few people doing it, so you did get a lot of attention very quickly in that sense.
But also the fact that, yes, it was a novelty and you were getting that attention, but it was an industry that had not been tapped. You didn't know, again, as you said, right? Venues didn't even know the ethos or the etiquettes of holding these events. The same thing was with marketing. Media was like, what is this going on?
Yeah.
Should I just write about the next restaurant that has opened? Or should I actually focus? And who are these people who are just running around trying to create art in this city? It was a challenge. And how did you navigate through that challenge? Because I feel, and I might be a little entitled right now, I feel that today people have it a bit easy because they've seen the playbook and they know what to follow. And social media has made it very easy. At that point in time, there wasn't even any social media. We had pamphlets which we used to print and leave at your local spinnies and park and shops.
Dude, I put those brochures in car parks in the windscreens.
So you
windshields.
were the massage car ninja.
I was the original, but for comedy. You laugh at both, right? But I have done that to promote a show. And technically you need permission for it, and I didn't know. So when I went to do it, someone's like, "You're not allowed to." But I was like, "Now I printed these."
Now what do I do?
So then I was also like worried and slipping them into windscreens to sell tickets. Yeah, there was no social media, no online thing. That was crazy. And it was a unique market. So you're right. Like there was good and bad, man. Like there was the ease of getting to do a lot of shows, because if you go to mature markets, to get in front of a live audience and stuff is not easy.
It's not easy.
Yeah, they make you jump
through hoops. Yeah,
I did get to do good big shows very, very early on. That part was the exciting part, and then explaining to people and all that just came. But you're right. Everyone is much more there's a little bit of entitlement. Comics come in and they think I deserve to perform as long as I want and stuff. And I'm like, you are not good enough yet. And I say that in a nice way. I'm like, you haven't practiced enough. If you indulge for more than 5 minutes for stand-up and you're dying, it seems like an hour for the audience. So definitely a lot of producers have made it a lot easy, which is great. The market has grown. But, it's still an art form.
It is.
Yeah. That stuff is there. But the beginning was fun also. Like,
it was, and I genuinely enjoyed it. I think that at that point in time when we were gritty, when we were trying to explain to people why this is important, and why this is something that the city needs, the people need, to a time where they were like, okay, these guys have arrived, we understand this. And I always say that the way entertainment has progressed in this city to now these grand shows happening and people from the world, I think we had a small part to play in it at a grassroots level to build it to that stage.
To create a culture of it as well, that we go out and we watch shows. We go out to watch live shows. We go out to watch comedy. We go out to watch plays and fight this conception, this idea that local is...
Right?
Yeah, it's not good. So I think we have played a big part.
We have, and the interesting.
Look at us congratulating each other.
I know it's a good validation session. But one of the things is, so I was in Moscow and there was a ballet that I really wanted to watch.
Ballet.
I know. I have refined taste as well. And there were two shows which were happening. One was happening on a Thursday and one was happening on a Friday. And the Friday ticket was 3 times more expensive than the Thursday ticket.
The same show?
The same show.
Okay.
And I asked them, I was like, why is so? And they're like, because the Friday show has local artists, and these local artists are popular and this and that.
So it was more expensive.
It was more expensive.
Yeah.
That's how much,
Yeah.
like, if your talent clicks.
Yeah.
And it was full. It was harder to get the expensive ticket
Yeah.
than get the cheaper ticket. So
that is
it's still a far away. It's really
no.
far, far.
I think there are some instances of that already happening, because at least in the stand-up scene where you have, I'm not going to compare A-listers, because obviously if Bill Burr comes in,
Yeah, of course,
that's
of course.
different. I'm not comparing us to them. But there are times when middle performers come in, and sometimes the local act kills, often actually.
The local act
Kills much more, because we know the audience, the jokes here, the relatability is completely different, and the skill level has risen.
It has. It definitely has. It has. And
Yeah.
again, seeing the journey of comedy through people like you
Yeah.
and the other, friends that we have in the community, it's
Do you? I want to ask. Do you feel that with plays as such? Because over here, the theater scene is a little bit either very grand, where you have Dubai Opera, I guess, and then the local scene.
no, we have. There is I think that the local theater scene also has drastically.
Yeah.
It's grown leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
From the same thing that where we were struggling to do 2 shows every 6 months.
Yeah.
Right. And get in 100 people in totality to watch the shows, to now there being evenings of like weekends and weekends on sold out, and which also
Right.
shows you there's so many venues now which have opened up catering to the local
Theatre
community,
scenes,
right?
yeah.
And if you pick any given weekend, there are 3 different shows happening, and they're all
Yeah.
selling out. They're all in. The quality is a hit and a miss.
Of
Some
course.
are really good. Some
But that could be true for
anything.
a big Hollywood production movie as
correct,
well, right?
There's
Yeah.
always going to be the hits.
Yeah.
There's always going to be the flops. But I think that the scene has grown leaps and bounds,
Yeah.
where you would have 4 shows a year,
Yeah.
like 4 different shows a year, once every quarter, to now you having 3 shows every weekend.
That
Right?
that's amazing.
It's awesome. I think that the speed at which the overall entertainment segment in this, look at the musicians, right? You go into any place right now, these local musicians are playing,
Constant.
and day in day out are selling out, the capacity of the club or the venue or the bar
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I think that from 2012, at least since when I saw it, it's grown leaps and bounds.
Oh, right. I think you came in at a great time. The first couple of years.
I believe I made the ring.
I'm sure. I'm sure you did. Jokes aside, right? Like I think you had a big part to play, because there is the performance side, and then some people took it upon themselves because of a vacuum to step up and produce and create also. And I think you are one of those people. I did Dubai Laughing back then, and that was part of it. And then, at least in the comedy scene, a few other comics have. Mad Cat is one
Yes.
that comes to mind that has pushed a lot. So that is true, though. And it was all around the same time,
That it all came
2012,
together,
13,
yeah.
that the people who came in said, we'll make it happen. And that's amazing.
And
right?
they have,
Like, just make it-
your Dubai Laughing, Mad Cat,
Yeah.
it all has a following now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there are people who week in, week out want
Yeah.
to go and watch it. And that says so much
Yeah.
about, fine, it's still growing. There's a long way to go. But it still shows that the momentum is there and it needs to be leveraged upon. In the kind of content that you have done, you've done stand-up.
Yeah.
I think you were one of the pioneers of improvisational comedy in
Very
this
early
country.
on, yes.
I think that what you and Rushdie and all have managed to pull together was also the inspiration of the show that we did together, and we'll get to that. But I
Yeah.
think that it's phenomenal of how you created that improvisational comedy space and appetite. So you've done stand-up, improvisational theater, you're doing a lot of social digital content, you've done television. What's the one medium which you enjoy the most? And in this journey, what was
Yeah.
that one show which when it happened, you were like, okay, I've arrived. Like I've
Yeah.
done, like I am something right now. It's not just all vacuum.
I don't know. I think I've had multiple shows where I'm like, I've arrived, and then I'm like, I haven't really arrived.
Yeah.
and I think a lot of people don't realize artists go through this a lot.
Yep.
Even if you're an A-lister, there are times when you might disappear and then
Come back,
have a
yeah.
comeback and
Yeah.
stuff. So you're constantly arriving in the nicest way. But
Somebody takes just this clip of yours, you're constantly arriving, it can be a viral meme, but well, let's move on.
but one thing and this is a very recent understanding for me was, your question was which thing did you enjoy most
Yeah,
of the
the art
stand-up?
form that you enjoy.
And I realized it's not so much the art form. I possibly enjoy live the most, but having said that, I realize what I really enjoy is when I'm doing work that I like and that I'm proud of. That is something that really struck, because one of my struggles with social media was I would try to follow trends or whatever,
Yeah.
and I'd make videos and I'd be like, especially when you're on the older side.
Correct. You're like, I'm trying to be relevant, but I just can't feel it.
Yes, and I don't want to be an influencer. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be this. I'll put up some stand-up clips, but they're not working. And I constantly felt like that was the hardest thing for me until I happened to do some videos which I enjoyed. And I was like, that's more me, and that is work I like doing. And so in that moment, I was like, whether I did this live or I did it for social media, obviously how you end up delivering it will be different. But that was one realization for me, that if I'm not into the work, then it doesn't matter whether it's a live show or a social media video, it won't be great.
But I think that's a very important point that you bring on, right? That the craft and the passion and the heart that you put into it, it also reflects in the final product.
Yeah.
And if you're just trying to follow a trend, it might get you so far.
Yeah.
But then you also have this fatigue. A lot of influencers that even I meet, they have fatigue.
Yeah.
They're like, I've done what I wanted to do and now I want to think of doing something else. And I'm like, but if you actually are passionate about something,
Yeah, that's it.
you'll die doing it and you'll still enjoy it, right? Till
I think, passion is one thing. So I'm passionate about comedy, for example, right? So I love anytime we'll do comedy in there. But I also mean in terms of
content.
the actual content that you're doing and how you're being, that matters a lot. And I think even the best artists, the best actors will fall into this trap of autopilot to do more movies. If you think about old Bollywood movies, heroes like 80s and 90s, where these guys were filming, like
they
you
were
hear
living
about
out of
Govinda,
a suitcase and filming like 10 movies a year.
multiple
Yeah.
shifts a
Yeah,
day,
yeah.
filming 10 films at a time. I mean, how would you be enjoying it? And average that shows in their movies, right? That is for me, honestly, that's the thing that I tell people now is like, if you're not enjoying making that content, whatever platform it's on, then forget it. Like, why are you an artist? Like, I get commercial reasons, blah, blah, but I'm like, you really need to find something you
Paying the
wake up
bills
for.
is one thing, doing
Yeah.
it. And I've seen you also do some advertisements where I can see you just being like an era. But that's to pay the bills.
Exactly.
That's absolutely fine,
Yeah.
right? The best actors have said that we've
I
done,
did love the product. Just
you know, the best actors have said that they've done underwear shoots just to like
Yeah.
pay the bills, and it's fine. Like
Yeah.
it's okay. But yeah, if you're just making content for your own sake and for the sake of connecting with people
Yeah.
watching to you, then you might.
It's enough that you're doing something forced by a brand to some extent. But when you're doing your own thing, shooting
Forced.
at home, I'm like, at least for that, then do something you are actually enjoying.
Enjoying
doing.
it.
So that's my actual answer. I've realized over the years that, and very recently that, having said that, there's something about live comedy.
It is, man. Something
Yeah.
about live entertainment.
Yes.
That energy.
Yeah.
Like I say it shamelessly. Like I've done all mediums, right? I've done advertisements, cinema, television, OTT, theater. That live improv. That live.
Yeah.
Oof. That energy is
Yeah.
is like a drug.
You can't
You can't.
change that.
And it builds your craft, right? Because you
Yes.
have your margin for error is zero.
Yeah.
You have to be
Yeah.
on point.
And also instant feedback, right?
Instant.
Like, it can be good.
all bad.
Yeah.
Like
So there are loads of times when I'm like, this
Like-
is not the feedback I was expecting.
or
But okay.
the worst is like there's silence.
Yeah.
It's like and you're like and then one thing which people don't realize is as a human being you want to punch harder.
Yeah.
And it bombs even further.
Yes. When you're new, that's what happens, right? The
Right.
spiral.
The spiral.
You hear the and you're like, and then the
You
guy.
just keep going down, 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 and down. But live entertainment, right? There's
Yeah.
again, as I said, margin for error is zero. But also, what people, I'm sure a lot of people appreciate it, but is that whatever is going on in life,
Yeah.
you have to leave it at the door.
Yeah.
Because the show must go on.
Yes.
And I know of a personal situation, right, that we
Yeah.
went through when we were doing a show together.
Yeah.
And it was supposed
This was during the filming.
It was
I
during
guess.
the filming, right? We were
Yes.
doing a stand-up, show which was around the local stand-up comedians in the UAE. And there was your set,
Yeah.
which was being done in front of a live audience,
Yeah.
but also being recorded.
Yeah.
And 5 minutes before the show, and you're normally, and I can tell people this, right?
Yeah.
Salman is normally very bubbly, very energetic, very giving, very, very warm.
Yeah.
And that day you were a bit off just before you were going to go on stage. You
Yeah.
went on stage,
Yeah.
you shot the set, it was fantastic, and then you disappeared after that. You were
Yeah.
not there for the debrief, you were not there for. And then later we found out, and I want you to share that story, but it just shows that there's so many things that go on in your life, but the show must go on.
Well, I think thank you for being a bit generous as well. I felt it wasn't my best, and I also had this out of body moment in that. So it's a blur for me on stage that evening, but it was literally I was waiting behind the curtains to come on, be announced on. So it was a couple of minutes. I'm just standing around, and my sister messaged me that my mom has been diagnosed with cancer, with breast cancer. And in that moment, you're like, I can't just walk off. There's a live audience. There's a huge production cost that's going on. And it's so, I haven't even absorbed it into my head that this is the situation and my name gets called and I walk out and it's a blur. And I think once I was done, I walked out and went, okay, get the hell out of here. So those are, and it's more bizarre when it's comedy.
It is because now you have to go out and make people laugh.
Yeah, if it was a dramatic film
You
or
just channel it
trash,
in,
I
right?
could channel it in. I had to go on and go, hey, everyone, how are you? Woo! Let's do the show like it's the last show. And that was one of the toughest ones I've ever done. There have been other times when very soon after a tragedy, I might have had to do a show. But this was like literally
Live. Yeah, it was
live
there. It was
in
just
that
there.
moment.
No,
Yeah.
and that's the thing, right? That the show must go on. People underappreciate this because they feel sometimes, and it's okay, right? They feel sometimes that we are just a medium for entertainment and we're just there and we're an object.
You don't know what's happening.
And the thing is also this whole social media and phones have made it so impersonal that people actually think that he's just there. He's like he's
AI
on my phone.
generated.
He's AI generated, right?
Yeah.
And but that was for other artists also watching, that was a moment. I think that was, and it's still available. That production is available on YouTube.
Right. Yeah.
And it was great,
Of course,
man.
we released
it was great. It was really,
well,
really good.
Again, thanks for being generous. Thanks for being such a good friend in that moment as well. I really appreciated that you had a million other things going on with the production, and you being part of the show and performing, to have something thrown at you like that. I would really appreciate that moment. And I think I always remember that it was also those moments where I realized as an artist, you got to work with people you love and respect and are friends with. That is a blessing. So I was, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, you had something very similar in that instance as well.
It wasn't 2 minutes before. My mother was diagnosed with colon cancer at that point of time as well. And that's why, and you guys were really generous that you let me do all my bits and just
I remember that
go and take her for her surgery, because it was quite.
You flew out, didn't
I
you?
flew out. I flew out because sadly the stage that she had it in, we had to fly to get her medical attention elsewhere.
But on a happier note, both our mothers are
Alhamdulillah,
are fine.
Wood, they're fine.
They've beaten cancer.
And the show was a super success. You can catch it on YouTube.
Yes.
And it was, and even today, I think people like it's been 5 years, 6 years to the show.
Yeah.
And they still keep asking me about the show.
I don't know if I mentioned it to you. I literally was in Karachi airport right now, just a few days ago, and picking up my luggage, or someone was doing it for me, if I want to sound more fancy, but the truth is I was waiting for my luggage, and this person came up to me and said, Salman, and I was like, oh my God, who do I owe money in Pakistan?
Am I going straight to prison
from
here?
And he's like, I've been watching you since Comedy Adda and stuff, and I'm like, this is so random. The guy had flown in from London for Eid in Karachi. And he's like, I watched it there, and it was awesome.
It was surreal.
And this is a good few years ago.
It was 5 years ago. And I think that was the first time all the local artists had come together. That was, I think, I say that is the moment for local artists because we all got such a big show to do.
Yeah.
And it was a pleasure working with you, Rushdie.
It was fun. It was a great experience as well. I think, again, that whole thing of like, who are you working with is so important. The friendship we have, it shows, it makes work so much easier. There are people I work with and you go, when is this ending? And, in all fairness, even if they're skilled and amazing performers, there's a part of you that's like,
I just want to get the hell out of here.
I want to finish this shoot and get out. Yeah. But I tell artists, I'm like, if even in the same situation back then, I would do the same thing. I'd perform because it is respecting your work as well at the same time and whatever. It's I don't wish this upon someone to have that moment, but there are other times when life has been tough and you still, even lesser things, like there must be some pressure on people, especially if you're doing comedy. You have some kind of pressure.
A bad day at work, your partner fights with you, you have a bad day, your stomach is upset, you had a bad burrito, anything can happen, right?
The burrito one. I don't wish that.
That could be an explosion on stage.
Not so funny.
Yeah, it would be. So you just said that you were in Karachi and you've traveled, right? You've done shows, especially live shows you've done in different parts of the world. What is the difference between the crowd that you have over here in the city we live in, Dubai, versus anywhere else that you've gone in the world?
I think for me, one of the main differences is how jaded they are. Okay. So if you go to the West, a lot of places in the US feel they've watched so much comedy that they kind of come in and go, make me laugh. There's a little, sometimes there's a little bit of that.
Like, I dare you. I've paid money on the gate.
Yes,
I dare you.
I paid $10 for Bill Burr when he was starting out. So who are you? And I'm like, whereas over here, it has been interesting because of a little bit more warmth. The audience is new to it. They love it. A lot of stuff they hadn't experienced before. The number of times people still come up and go, it's my first time watching a live comedy show.
Really?
It still is a big thing for a lot of people in the region. If you go to Oman, for example, when I did my first show, people were coming up and going, thank you for coming here. And I was like, what? It's just like, we don't have a lot of live entertainment.
My family doesn't thank me as much as you're thanking me right
really
now.
Was. I was like, I love being here. So those moments are great. They're different challenges. The audience is very expat. So, you have a person from the UK, a person from Russia, a person from India and Pakistan, and then Gambia, and you're like, I need to make all of them laugh.
All of them laugh.
And find that common thing.
It should be like, Salman, you are funny. Salman, you made me laugh.
It really is that. So I think that's a big challenge, but it's also good training.
It is.
But I do love that. And then in a lot of other places, it could be just a bunch of people from the city who grew up there, and then you have to kind of relate to them quickly somehow.
And I think that what you've hit the nail on the head, right? The one thing which I think Dubai trains you for, or any metropolis where you have 200 nationalities living together, it trains you how to be diverse.
Yeah.
And it trains you how to be adaptive.
Yeah.
And then when you go to a place which is, let's say, a Karachi, where there is only one kind of audience, I feel, and I could be wrong, it's just easier in terms of your content because it now has to be narrowed down to one. But here it has to cater to the entire breadth, right? You have to make everyone, because that's what comedy or even acting is, that you need to make them relate to your character.
Yeah,
or your
find that
material.
common art wise.
Where everyone feels like one.
Yes.
They're all laughing at the same joke.
Yes.
Right? So they're all one. They're sharing that moment.
We all recognize this. Yeah. We all experience this. Yeah, that is it's both beautiful, it's both a challenge because, there are much more limited things that are common to everybody versus you go to a city. Like you said, if I go to Karachi, then there's like 100 things that all of us will.
Yeah, there are many things I want to say, I can't say, but the comedy writes itself. You go from the airport to home, the comedy will write itself.
Exactly, and all of us have experienced. I don't know. I guess all of us live. If you've lived in the same place for a while, you will have those same experiences, and that's great. Yeah, and then there's always the challenge of like what is appropriate here what is considered off limits here. And that is vastly different for people. People will get touchy about anything or.
I think this is not just here anymore. I think
No. I mean the whole world.
Yeah, everyone.
Everyone has something.
And the cancel culture, they just come out with a sword to like cut you.
I've never had. I'm like, I'm not that big. What will you cancel?
Cancel me. No problem.
I might get more attention.
Right? No, but the fact is that, as you said, right, that the jokes that are related to this area, the first time I heard you do stand-up, I don't know why your first joke just stuck with me.
Yeah.
And it was like you were saying that the automation, the convenience of Dubai spoils you.
Yeah.
And you were like, it spoils you so much that I was on an escalator and the escalator stopped midway. And I was like, now what do I do?
Yeah.
I died. I was like, it's so true.
Yeah.
Like, it really does spoil you. It's a great thing to have. Like, I would not live anywhere else in the world. But that just...
The lifestyle you have
It just hit, right? That the escalator stopped midway and I was like, now what do I do?
But it was true. That was what hit me. I genuinely at that moment where I'm like, oh, I'll have to walk up now with my feet.
Will my foot work?
I'm like, do this work anymore? So there's so many things like that. I do joke about these things because I'm like, your luxury, your ease of life here and standard of living here is almost too good. That's the complaint.
My brother lives in the US and every Saturday and Sunday when we talk, one of the days is dedicated 3-4 hours for grocery shopping. Now he lives in Louisiana or whatever. And he's like, no, I have to go and do grocery shopping. And then his wife very innocently asked me, what day of the week do you go grocery shopping? And I'm like, grocery what? Like, I have an app which just I need to click and it's here. And it's there. And then you can take that time and do other stuff in life.
Asad, that's grocery shopping. It took me 10 minutes to explain to my brother's friends in Dallas that my car petrol comes home. And they were like, you mean the car you take to go to the gas station? I'm like, no, the gas
comes to me.
Comes to me. And even when I was saying it out loud, I'm like, it is what happens, right?
It makes you doubt everything and anything can be ordered home.
Yes.
Everything.
Yes. Service
whatever
lines.
you want will come home.
Exactly. Yeah. Too much stuff.
Too much stuff will come home. Things you don't want to come home will also come home.
Why are you home?
But it comes. And that's the beauty of it, right?
It is.
And
it is.
And that
is crazy. It's just, and I think you forget that the rest of the world
is not like this.
Nowhere close. We got a TV for my mom's room. She lives in Dallas with my brother. And I was like, where's the guy? And my brother's holding the drill. He's like, no,
we are the guys.
We are the guys. I was like, oh my, I don't know. I was so scared of using the drill. I'm like, I've never done this work kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh my God.
And also it's small things, right? Like here in the food court, to block a table, you will put your phone. When I went to this large metropolis, I'll name it. I went to London and the guy who checked me in was like, sir, please do not take your phone out in public, even to look at maps. Because somebody will snatch it. And I was like, I didn't even think about that because back home, I will use a phone to block a table in a food court.
Yes, your phone, your new iPhone that cost $1,000 and you're like, marked.
Yeah.
And it will be there.
And it will be. You could go shop 4-5 hours. The phone will be there. Maybe a family will sit now around it having their lunch or dinner. But the phone is going to stay there.
Exactly. No, I literally was taking a friend for lunch right now. He's from the US, from San Francisco. And he had his backpack. So when we got out to go to the restaurant, he had the backpack. And I'm like, why is he carrying his laptop? And then he's like, you left yours in the car? I'm like, yes. He's like, they would break the glass and take it. And I was like, yes, of course you're right. Like in other places, you forget.
You forget that.
How easy.
So whenever I travel, first 6 hours, I'm recalibrating myself. This is not Dubai. This is not Dubai. This is not Dubai.
Yes.
But that's how much this place...
I know. I have forgotten my phone at a public place, left, gone home and gone, oh my God, came back and no one touched it. Like this, these are incidents that have happened.
I'll share an incident. You said you forgot your phone. I'm going to share an incident with you. Back in the day, my mother forgot me at the airport. And I was here. And I was...
Wait, were you arriving or departing?
No, we were arriving.
Arriving, okay. It's not a home
I
alone.
was 2.5 years old and she forgot me. And God bless, and there's no mobile phones or anything. And she realized,
Yeah.
I had 2 when I started.
Yeah.
Where is 1? And when she came back, like again, it was a very warm, they were taking care. And
Yeah.
this is what
Yeah, you'd be gone. By now, you'd be part of some begging syndicate.
Yeah, I would have. There are many countries in the world. I would have been part of many different things. Let's not even get there.
Yes.
Either I would be asking for money or
But
sending
this
myself for money.
explains some trauma.
It does.
I understand you better now.
Detachment
Now I get it. Now I get it.
But this is trauma. This is a very good point that we get to, right? Today, as we said, that this cancel culture has become a little too much.
Yeah.
I think that personally speaking, I think it's a bit too much.
Yeah.
And you being a comedian, you put yourself out there. Some jokes are funny, some jokes are not, some might be offensive. This social trolling is insane.
Yeah.
Right? And it takes a toll on you.
Yeah.
Does it take a toll on you?
I think I'll tell you a true story. When social media videos were first starting to come out, I'm talking about Facebook and YouTube clips, I put up a clip and I still remember it. Someone I know shared it, but under her post on Facebook, someone left a very this is not funny. And that put me off for ages to never do it. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So I thought it would be funny and stuff.
Thandi comedy.
Yes. And then I saw someone do the exact same, lifted the idea and got millions of views. And I was like, what? So back then I was very sensitive to, it was the first time someone publicly the people feel that we can just diss you so.
Because they're not in front of you.
Yeah, they're not in front of you and they don't know you, who cares, right? And you have dared to put something out there. And I think to some extent artists need to accept that. You put it out there.
Anything can happen.
You have to be open to whatever.
Yep,
yeah.
anything can happen.
But recently, no. I think over time you just go, I've heard enough.
And now even your family, it's a very talented family. Like your wife, I know she's such a talented artist, and now you're doing content together with her. Yeah. And you're promoting a lot of content also about your son, where you're spreading awareness about it.
He's autistic, so we talk about it deliberately.
It's beautiful. And that opens up even more. Yeah. Because now you're even opening up your family for people to view and perhaps even critique. Yeah. As a family, do you share the same point of view that you have?
So Sarah and I, we do talk about it, and we do sometimes wonder what's the right line and stuff. And I think the reason we're okay with it, personally, I think, is because we both agree this isn't about. I can't speak for people's intentions, but we're not looking to exploit it and stuff. I think we looked at it and we went, this is important for us to share and speak also and have fun. And also as artists, some of it, you can look at the safety and stuff, so be careful about that, or whatever decisions you make, respect each other's. But for me, it was, as an artist, you have to accept that this comes part and parcel of the entire. So you might as well do it right yourself instead of rethinking about it, So that Sarah and I are very much on the same page.
And the messages that you put out, they're super hilarious. I think, and I've left a lot of comments on your videos as well, that when Sarah is with you, it's like 5, 7, 10x more funny, because
she is funnier.
she has a wonderful personality, and I think both of you gel together well as well. And but I think that what you're doing, not just in terms of comedy and entertainment, but also the message that you're putting out there for young parents or for parents who are going through the same thing, I think it's amazing.
That is an important part. That was a big part of us going, we have to, because when you find out something like that, you are lost, and there's so many people giving different messages, and obviously we're adding to it, but one of the challenges we do with that is that when we share something, we mean it. It's through our experience, and we're careful about just giving blanket advice and go, just do this. I'm totally against that, because it's such a vast thing. People have different experiences around it. But I also want to normalize it. I think that has fallen upon us as a responsibility. And that's another conversation Sarah and I think had about that this is something that has come on us, and it is an opportunity for us to make it easy for people to talk about and not hide behind it or worry and go, what will
And it's a
people
community
think?
feel, right? Because
Yes.
when people feel that there are other people going through the same thing,
Yeah.
it makes it much easier.
That's a big part of it.
These support groups exist
Yeah.
because of this reason,
Yeah.
right? All of these.
And we want to give people the confidence and courage to go out. Look, sometimes Ayan can be difficult, but so can any other kid be.
Bravo.
Right? Kids are kids.
Bravo.
And so don't worry about it. Just go out and live your life and own the space. And that's the way to grow this thing. Yeah. Yeah. So it's I don't regret it. I'm very happy about the fact that we do that. Yeah. And it is important.
No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Now, before, we've had a wonderful conversation. Before we start wrapping up, there's one thing that, because you've been through so much comedy, you've done live entertainment, you've done content generation. For the younger ones who are coming in, right? The younger ones,
Yeah.
I'm saying as if we're really old. But let's say for the ones who are just stepping into this avenue for the first time. They could be older than us.
You could have said new comics.
New comics.
Yeah.
Let's look at new comics, new
Yes.
content creators.
Yeah.
How different is stand-up versus content creation? And what are like some of the things they need to be aware of
Yeah.
coming in?
That's a very cool question. And I do think about it sometimes, and I may not be the best one to answer this, but I think stand-up is, well, you have to consider the ebb and flow of things with art. Like with stand-up live, you are taking audience on a live thing, so you want to wave them through the comedy and give them a break and all that. Content is much more fast-paced sometimes. You do need to hit a certain point. I think you need to be... the commonalities, I think you should be ruthless with chucking out stuff. Content much more brutally, though, I feel. And stand-up, you can experiment a lot. There are more common things that I can think of, like you should experiment with the stuff, you should do that.
That's fine.
But you would know this better than me as a theater and film actor, about going on film and how you portray and play out a comedic, how you act on it.
Technically, it's a little different.
Technically,
It's
keep
much
those things in
different.
mind. Yeah, I think stand-up is also ensuring that you are present to react to what's happening there.
Very
That's a big
adaptive,
one.
very adaptive.
Yes, you have to adapt to what's happening there, and you might even have someone who says something and everything, so you learn to be more adaptable. Content, you do have the privilege of shooting in your room, reshoot it as much as you want.
And then edit the timing and everything
Yes.
as well.
And so lean into it. So that's the major difference.
into it.
Some people think I got to do 1 or 2 shots and do it. No. You do that in live.
Yeah.
You don't have a choice there. But in content, feel free to look back at it and go, that wasn't the perfect delivery. Change it. Yeah.
And I think that this is one thing which I've noticed is that I've seen a few good stand-up comedians who are very good with content. And by content, let me just clarify, it's not your stand-up special online.
Yeah.
It's actual videos, like the funny videos which have been cut. I've seen a lot of stand-up comics who are great when it's live.
Yes.
Not so good when they're doing content.
Yes.
And I've seen some people who are phenomenal when it comes to content.
Yeah.
And completely bomb when they're put on stage.
Yeah.
And I think that is something which people need to appreciate, that this reason exists because the mediums are different.
Yes.
And they need to be treated
They're completely different.
that way.
I think stand-up comics have a better chance of adapting to
100%.
content. Content creators
100% I agree
will
with
find it much harder
100%
to get
I
in front
agree
of a
with you
live
on that.
audience, because that takes a whole different
When you have
courage.
when you have to come outside your living room and actually face people.
Yeah.
Once you do that,
Yeah.
and that's what they say about acting as well. Like once you've done theater, they say movies make you rich.
Yeah.
Television makes you popular, and now social digital makes you popular, but theater
Yes.
makes you good.
Oh, I love that.
Right? And stand-up comedy for me, like personally,
Yeah.
even when I watch it, I think it's the holy grail for me. I enjoy it the most. Yes, I enjoy watching stand-up specials on an online platform,
Yeah.
but the fun of being there and sharing that moment
It is
with
so great.
many people is brilliant.
It's so great.
It's
Yeah.
brilliant.
Same. I love watching live. I actually don't enjoy stand-up that much because I know it's so polished up
Yes,
now.
it is. It
So
is.
I love the live experience of it.
I love the live experience.
Yeah.
And well, thank you so
Yes.
much.
My
We
pleasure.
now will do 2-3 segments that
Okay.
we have
Okay.
in the show very quickly, just to spice it up a bit.
All right.
The first segment is called Masala Chai.
Okay.
So Masala Chai is we'll pick a topic. Could be controversial, could be not. And it'll always have two sides of the coin
I was not
going
warned
on.
about this.
Yeah?
I love it.
No, it'll have two sides of the coin going around, but I'd love to see what your point of view on it is. So, brutal honesty or diplomacy? In content as well as life. Where would you fall?
You mean if I'm giving it?
Yeah.
I am leaning more in life towards brutal honesty more because I think that is more beneficial, but it naturally doesn't come to me. I'm naturally a diplomatic person. And I'm fighting that.
Normally look away. Whenever there is a conflict, Salman is going in another direction.
Yeah.
You're like, where did he? He's
That's
like,
my
come, I'm with you, I'm with you.
Creating peace in the world.
It's like, come on. And then you look behind and Salman is gone and you're like, where did he go to?
Yeah, I'm non-confrontational. One of the lines I always tell people is, the famous thing, I came, I saw, I conquered. I say to people, I came, I saw, I concurred. I'm like, everything's fine. We're good, right? So I say that. But I think brutal honesty is sometimes is the better way to go. But I think brutal honesty doesn't mean you have, the way you say it has, the delivery can still be nice, right? You don't have to go, please don't come again. But you can, but I think honesty can sometimes be nice. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And you know why I came to this was when a friend gave me feedback on, I was trying to be diplomatic and they said, you sound to me like you are being shady. Ooh. And I was like, I was trying to be nice.
And shady?
Yeah. In his perception, he was like, he's beating around the bush. He wants something from me.
Let me guess, this guy was from the extreme west of the world.
Yes, yeah. But it still gave me some honest feedback.
Because this is the only, this beating around the bush is something I've heard so many times.
Yeah.
Bush.
Beating the bush.
But good. Brutal honesty, and I agree. I think that diplomacy is good in some aspects. Like right now we want diplomacy.
Yes.
But
oh my God, I wasn't thinking about that.
But brutal honesty in life, but it always can be said in a much more kind, in a much more understanding, in a much more two-way conversation rather than I'm right, this is what you were.
Yeah, be kind.
Be kind,
but honesty helps also.
Okay, super.
Yes.
The next segment that we're going to get into is called J1, which is just one.
Okay.
So it's basically just one and then something about your life.
Okay.
So just one thing that Salman today, if could tell an 18-year-old Salman, he would say.
There's too many things. Just one. You know what? It's a bit sentimental. I'd be like, spend time with your parents.
Yeah.
Spend time.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Well, very quick. So one of the things that this is again, it's a personal trigger for me, but one of the things that people love doing these days, and I'm not generalizing, I'm talking about some people, is they love blaming their parents. And I agree. They might have made some mistakes. But
no one comes with a parenting manual, right?
And now there's this whole that forgive them. Yes, forgive them, but show them the kind of love you expected from them.
Yes.
We're very quick to say, I will not make the same mistakes with my kids.
Yeah.
But you're making the same mistake with your parents.
Yeah.
It's a two-way thing, right? And I've lost a parent, you've lost a parent. And once they're gone, it's very tough. And then all the things start playing in you. I wish I would have said I love you more. I wish I would have been more kind. I wish I would have gotten him that thing that he wanted.
I know.
And that's a beautiful thought. That's
I genuinely, jokes aside, like it is just one of those things. Like most people have good parents, spend time with them. We've lost our dads, both of us, and you much earlier than much more tougher. But it still makes me remember that.
Yeah. No, and it is.
And I like what you said about we focus on the kids thing, but not. I had this moment when I have one kid. My dad had 5.
Yeah.
And I look back and I'm like, I sometimes want to. I'm like, how kind was my dad? With 5,
he didn't have 5 hands to struggle with. 5 of us. So he had to.
That's why we survived. I think we were 6 at the beginning. But spend time, man. It just doesn't come back. It's great.
Well, that's a beautiful thought. And then we move into our last segment, which is rapid fire.
Yeah.
Which you've obviously seen a lot of people do, but I am shamelessly going to replicate it. So there's going to be a lot
I think structures should be copied.
And we've been doing rapid fire for quite some time. So I would like to believe that after the one guy that created it, we were the first ones to adapt it, and then everybody just took it from there.
Yeah.
When was the last time you bombed a joke?
few days ago.
Okay.
That's painful.
I thought you were going to say, in this interview, which you will edit out,
And that too, yes.
the worst heckling that has been done.
Someone said, get off. Like, looked at me and went,
Just get off.
get off. And then the organizer came and said, yes,
Yes,
because it was
please.
someone very important.
Oh.
So that was a heckle. Like, get off.
Heckle mein
That was
nikkal.
the worst, yeah.
Irish coffee or Pakistani chai?
Pakistani chai, man, for sure. For sure.
Which is your-
Officially.
Okay. Officially.
You can
now.
ask me later. Real.
Yeah. If you were offered a romantic movie, which actress would you like to cast opposite you?
Katrina Kaif, but pre-marriage.
Okay.
Yes.
I concur. An overrated comedian.
I sometimes believe I'm overrated. When some people find it funny, I'm not being humble here. I'm
No,
like, oh
this
my
is
God,
not
what's
brutal
that?
honesty. This is
Very
diplomacy now.
brutal. Yeah. No. It really is. Overrated comic, Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Very controversial, but yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Biryani or nihari?
Nihari.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
Interesting.
surprised at that too.
I'm surprised
As
at
it
that
came
too.
out, I'm like, Arey,
Nihari.
I learned something about myself.
Have you ever
You
considered?
know, let me interrupt that for a second. You can cut this part off. But the problem is, biryani has become too easy. We used to have it as a special marriage.
It's now
thing
very common, yeah.
Every Friday. Now it's like, yeah, I think it lost it. Nihari is still hard
Still
to
very
make.
hard
so
to
I
get.
still-
And good nihari is very hard to
Yes,
get. It's
that's
very
hard.
hard to get. Okay. Have you ever considered creating an OnlyFans account?
I have.
Okay.
But only feet.
Only feet.
Like I was going to do the feet
The
thing. I was
feet
like,
thing.
what's wrong with I have a pretty nice
So
feet.
even I think about OnlyFans
Right?
whenever I
I was
see
like,
my
no one
bank
would
account.
want to watch this.
Yeah.
But maybe feet.
Maybe feet. I see my bank account and I'm like, it's like me and OnlyFans.
Just like my joke bombed a few days ago, this was also a few days ago.
The most famous person who slid into your DMs.
Two people. What's his name? Oh my God, how am I forgetting his name? He's the Seth Rogen.
Okay.
He said thank you for. He's like thanks for sharing this. And Scottie Pippen from Bass, he also like sent out a message saying thanks for sharing my post or something. I'd say not for sharing their posts. Both of them, I said something about them.
Oh, okay.
And they're like, that's great. And someone replied to me. What's his name? You know, Bill and Keanu. Have you watched Bill and Ted?
No.
Okay, so then you won't know. But back in the day, Keanu Reeves did a movie called Bill and Ted, and the other guy was Alex Winter,
Okay.
the actor. He replied to me once when the Palestinian thing split up, and he said something. And I was like, no. And he said, I'm really sorry that you feel that way. And I was like, he's talking.
He's replying to me.
replying to me. Yeah. So this happened online. That was pretty cool.
Awesome. And the last question is, what's the most romantic thing that you have done?
Man, I married my wife. Like I think.
Oh, that is not romantic. Ask her, she'll be like, this was
I don't
tragic.
know. I'm a romantic person, so flashing back to it, I think that my wife will be like, yes, he's done a lot. Perhaps the proposal I did to get married was probably quite romantic. I did by the beach. I know it sounds stereotypical, but it was very different.
At that time.
So she
Back in the day when
back
you...
in the day, yes, before we got married. She's an artist, right? So I got us to do some painting, and in mine I wrote, "Will you marry me?" while she was busy doing it. So I flipped it.
remember that, and
Yeah.
you posted it on Instagram
Yes.
while she was
Yes,
drawing
didn't
without
know.
she know.
Yeah, so I blocked her.
Okay,
from my-
this is one thing. I saw it, and I think that was one of the most romantic things I've seen anyone do.
Cool.
Where you wrote that,
Yeah.
took a picture, posted it for the likes. But you know.
do it unashamedly.
Yeah.
Content.
Thank you, Salman. Thank you so much on that note.
My pleasure, man. It's always so fun to talk to you and catch up on things.
Yeah, I just felt that we were literally the catch up that we couldn't do for the last 8 months we did over here. I had to
shoot a
get
podcast.
I had to entice you and bribe you with content to get you here. So, but thank you so much, and thank you so much for coming. And thank you everyone. Thank you for watching All Real Convos, where we have real conversations with real people. Until next time, take care of yourself, keep it real, and God bless.
With ARK.